Hello YouTube, this is Keith Kevin Ken. I'm Kevin. And the reason this is called Keith Kevin Ken, my older brother is Keith, my younger brother is Ken. I'm the middle boy. We're all 2 years apart, and growing up, even my mother and father got confused because all of our names start the same, Keith Kevin Ken. So we all answered to those three names, Keith Kevin Ken, Keith Kevin Ken. I call my YouTube and my Instagram Keith Kevin Ken in loving tribute to my brothers. I thought it was a great name, but I'm Kevin. I'm the only one with Instagram and YouTube that I know of. Anyway, it's time for another daily pocket dump deconstruction. It is Thursday, March 24th, 2016. Yes, yes, yes. I know you may not be watching this on Thursday, March 24th, 2016, but I always give the date just to remind all of you and me that this is a daily occurrence here on YouTube. It's the daily pocket dump deconstruction. What you're watching right now is what I'm going to carry today. It also is the exact same image that I posted on Instagram, framed a little better. I posted that 9 minutes ago on Instagram. I turned my iPhone 6S Plus to video, and now we're going to do the deconstruction and play with some knives. I always have a Cuban cigar to celebrate the day. In this case, it's the El Rey del Mundo. I don't always have a Cuban cigar. I've been on a Cuban cigar tear of late. But I do have a lot of wonderful other handmade cigars, but I love handmade cigars, and a lot of the best are from Cuba. This is the El Rey del Mundo. Someone asked me, real quickly, someone gave a comment saying, what do I mean when I say smooth? That this is so smooth smoke. Most Cuban cigars, to people who don't smoke a lot of cigars, will taste strong. It has a strong flavor. When I say smooth and I'm talking about a Cuban cigar, I'm just talking about the draw. The actual smoke of it is a very smooth smoke. And even though it may seem rough to most, you can still have a smooth, strong tasting cigar. There are some smooth cigars, by the way, that are just mild. And so sometimes I'll say that if I show you a mild cigar. Anyway, real quick, that was smooth. Too much on the cigar, right? I celebrate each day with a cigar. Obviously, this is my daily carry watch. It's one of my watches. It's in my rotation. I do collect watches, but I actually wear about 6 or 7 of them. You know, I always tell people that the watch is the Concorde. And I've got a couple of comments that said, oh, Concorde, I tried looking it up. There's a lot of Concordes. I'm sorry. This is the Concorde. It's the Concorde Impresario. Concorde Impresario, I love it. It's classy. It's got that heft to it. Look at it. It's all nice and thick. I just love it. It's a man's watch. Okay? I'm sure they make women's watch. That's a man watch. By the way, nothing's sexier than a woman wearing a man's watch. Okay. I've talked to you for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and I've already done about 10 asides. The coin today, I have to stop that. The coin today is one of my Chinese flower coins out of that collection. It's the lunar year of the rabbit. I always carry a silver 1-ounce coin as good luck every single day. And I do that because my grandfather did it back in the day, and that's one of the things that I remember about him. Today it's blended scotch. This is a Coach wallet. I call it vintage because it's over 20 years. And I don't know if Coach does men's leather things anymore. Field guides, I love it. It's a nice little shade of green. I love the field guides as notebooks. I love carrying notebooks around in my back pocket. I just love it in a meeting where everyone's being all technical and all that. By the way, I love electronics as well. But I love to show them I'm old school when necessary. It works. So let's talk about the carry. Let's talk about the carry. Today, the keychain knife is a really special Cricut. You see me carry the Cricut a lot. But this, folks, it's hard to find. It really is. This is actually one of the old school Cricuts. Oh, man, I love it. It's carbon fiber, but it has like a shield over the carbon fiber. Oh, man. And the reason I say it's hard to find is it's old school. It really is. You would think carbon fiber, space age material and all, would be one of the newer knives. Here's why it's hard to find. Let's see how close I can get with this without the lighting mess with it. The blade type is ATS 55. That's one of those old steels that Spyderco used. It's a Cricut. It has the belly, it has the edge, it has the Spidey edge as well. You can tell an old school one first by the blade type, the steel type, ATS 55. Also, when you turn it over, oh man, God, I do get emotional when I took it. You know, there are a couple of vintage pieces I just love and I actually carry as well because I'm not a hard use guy. But you can always tell because on the back, it is not a frame lock. Instead, it goes all the way and it's a liner lock. See that? That's how you can tell an older Cricut. Let me give you an example. Here's an Incision Cricut. Just like this Cricut. You can tell that it's a more recent Cricut because, first of all, it's VG10 steel. You can get this in Spidey Edge as well. And when you turn it over, you see that? Yeah, they have the Reeve integral frame lock instead. All the newer ones have that wonderful frame lock. The older ones don't. Here's another special thing about this carbon fiber. First, it's carbon fiber and it's an old school vintage knife, which I really love. Here's an example. Here's another old school Cricut. I'm sorry, you guys. One day I'm going to spend a day and mess around with lighting and certain things. I just don't have the time. But because I have a lot of things on the desk, I need this kind of lighting to take photos and videos. But it doesn't help when I try to get a close-up on some of these. This is an FRN fiberglass reinforced nylon handle. It's old school, ATS 55 blade. When you turn it around, see, you see it's a liner lock as well. So it's old school. Here's what makes it special though. Even with the FRN scale, usually when you do the older ones, you turn it around and it's a plain back. See how there's not FRN? It is FRN. It still has that plastic feel, but it doesn't have that FRN grip pattern. One reason is, hey, the clip fills the whole back. So they probably thought, hey, just make it smooth. It's better on your pocket. It doesn't rip up the pocket, etc. And then, of course, this older one has the liner lock as opposed to the newer one, right? This one, first, I was so lucky. Yeah, the blade's a little dirty, and I'll fix that. But, man, I was so lucky to grab this. First, it's old school. Second, it's carbon fiber. Third, look, I turn around. So you know that it's ATS 55. You know that it's a liner lock. Look at this. Steel carbon fiber in the back. Now, of course, it makes sense, right? Because this carbon fiber with this poly whatever, some kind of chemical over it that makes it feel smooth and glassy. So it won't rip up your pants. I'm sure if it was not protected and it was fiberglass, they'd go smooth again. But they wanted to make sure with the clip it doesn't mess up. But here you have a very unique knife. First, it's carbon fiber. Second, it's ATS 55, old school steel with that liner lock. I'm smiling. I'm talking to you guys with a big grin because I love handling these things, thinking about the thought process when Sal put it together. And second, you get the pattern on both sides. So the carry is the carbon fiber. I wanted to show you the modern VG10 version with that wonderful frame lock. And then again, I compared the two old schools. Because FRN has that traction in the pattern, when you turn it over old school, they don't repeat, even though it's a liner lock, that pattern, because they want to protect the things. Wonderful knives. As you can tell, I love the Cricut. In an earlier video, if you haven't seen it, there's a pocket dump, and then I went off talking about pairs of knives. You should look at that. It's in the playlist if you haven't seen it, because it talks about the Citizen, and I have an original Citizen, and talks about Sal's thinking behind the Cricut. You want to look at that first, just to see all those wonderful pairs of knives that Spyderco put together. That's my keychain knife. Remember yesterday I said, you probably, if you've seen yesterday, some of you do watch them daily, some of you don't. My last video I talked about how I was a little sick of carrying some of my Chris Reeves. I just woke up sick of it, so I went all different kind of knives. Today, I wanted Chris Reeve. So except for the Spyderco Cricut, I have a Mnandi. This is the only Mnandi that I have that does not have a Damascus blade. And you know why? For some reason, and there's a lot of wood inlays, and I have them all. I love the Mnandi. Chris Reeve calls it very nice. That's what Mnandi stands for in Zulu. Chris Reeve's native tongue, since he's South African. But box elder to me just seems so fancy. I do have a large Sebenza 21 box elder, and I did go with the Damascus blade, and I love that. Dress. But man, that's dress classy, isn't it? With that satin blade, I really love it. This was really my first Mnandi that I purchased. Mnandi is Chris Reeve's gentleman folder knife. It's just perfect. It really is. I love it. I carry a Mnandi, one or the other of them, a lot. Look at that pocket clip. It's a pocket clip you don't mind people seeing, whether it's in your dress shirt pocket pointing out or in your pocket. It looks like an ink pen, an expensive ink pen clip. I really like it. The scale's, of course, wonderful. The size is unbelievable. That is the Chris Reeve integral lock. It has just the same strength as the other integral locks. It's hidden a little by that scale in the back, but it is a frame lock. Oh man, look at that. The tolerances are the same. It's smooth as silk. That lock makes you secure. This can do work. Okay, it's very nice, but it's not just for show. But it is a showy piece. I really enjoy it. The Mnandis aren't leaving my collection because I really want to see. I have 5 grandsons, 13 all the way down to 2, and I have a son, Junior, and 2 girls. I want to see them carrying Mnandis. I just love them. I really do. That's the carry, folks. Oh, no, it's not. I forgot the boss. That's the Umnumzaan. I call it the boss because Chris Reeve named it the boss in Zulu, Umnumzaan. That's what it is. It is a beast. It is the beast of all of the Chris Reeve knives. You know, after 20 years of playing around with the Sebenza, he took everything that he learned from the Sebenza and put it into his heavy-duty large knife called the Umnumzaan. Look at it. Look at that blade. Oh, it's so nice. When you pick it up, you know it's ready to do some work. It is the boss of the collection. It has this wonderful etching. So the plain Jane Umnumzaan, you could tell I have 3 original Sebenza 21, a large and a small, and a Umnumzaan. You can always tell because I took off the lanyards because those were my early knives, and to store them, the lanyards were causing me problems. This was one of my first Chris Reeve knives. Oh man, it's like butter. It takes some use to opening. It does. In fact, and when I say that, people are probably laughing, but actually, Chris Reeve has opening instructions in all of his Umnumzaan boxes. So I'm not the only one. Chris Reeve says, yeah, it takes some used to opening it with these studs. Double studs. And the reason they're double studs is Gavin and Hawk worked with Chris Reeve to have the studs work as shock absorbers in the back. See this? So it helps with as a stop pin. It has these round, like a shock absorber would, these round rubber things in the middle. Gavin and Hawk later worked with Chris Reeve for the tie lock knife, Chris Reeve's tie lock knife. S35VN steel. All of the modern ones are S35VN. I've seen the older Umnumzaans. I don't own one that has that bigger pivot, that big flat pivot. This is the more modern Chris Reeve. I just started collecting 2.5 years ago. So a lot of these that I buy new. And so I get a lot of the modern stuff. Same with the Mnandi. I've seen earlier versions of the Mnandi. Little different shape. Takes more after the original Chris Reeve knife, the original Spyderco. Oh, this is really nice. Oh, man. I don't carry the Umnumzaan enough. It's just that I have a lot of knives, a lot of 21s and 25s, and a lot of variations, and of course a lot of Spydercos. But man, when you do, I guess today it's been a long week already, even though it's only Thursday, but I just want to feel like I'm going to do a lot of work. That's the Boss, by the way, and that's my large carry. Before I say that's it and talk briefly about the knife that got away, I do want to talk a little bit about the Umnumzaan. This is my collection. It's only a 3-knife collection. That's the original, and this is a very special Umnumzaan. You can tell it's the Tonto Umnumzaan, the Tonto blade. Of course, all Chris Reeve knives, the 21, large and small, and the Umnumzaan that has that Tonto blade and that specialized bead. They're all True North knives exclusive. So if you want a Tonto Umnumzaan new, you need to go to True North Knives. Obviously, on the secondary market, they're available elsewhere. But new, you need to go to True North Knives. I love the Tonto blade shape. I don't know about you guys. I really love it. So a lot of my knives, when they have a Tonto blade shape, I buy a Tonto blade shape. But man, that's nice. That's my second Umnumzaan. I tell you, you feel like the boss when you have an Umnumzaan. If you've never picked up one and you have a friend nearby, I wish television, instead of having a million channels, had better technology so I can go, here, this is a loaner. Why don't all 300 of you play with it? I really love this knife. It's so hefty and it's so well built. You know that it's Chris Reeve knife. I don't know how you wouldn't know it. Man, that lock. The newer ones have the back stop so you don't extend the lock and break it. I've heard a lot of old schoolers, a lot of collectors hate this on the Umnumzaan. And so they go and get the earlier ones that don't have that and have the bigger pivot. This one, it looks like the plain Jane, but it isn't. It is etched, but you see it has a starburst etch instead of that usual pattern, that crisscrossy pattern. That's because this is a very special Wilson Combat Chris Reeve collaboration on the Star Tack. This is called the Star Tack. It is an Umnumzaan, but it's an exclusive from Wilson Combat. Wilson Combat sells guns and other tactical equipment. You see their logo right there. On the special bead, they have both Chris Reeve and Wilson Tactical written on it. So it's a special knife, a collaboration, special collaboration. If you have watched my Spyderco 25 small collection video, which is up right now, check it out. You'll see a lot of variations on the 25. Yes, when I have the time, I'm going to work on my 21, which ends up with a bunch of Chris Reeve large 21s. I also have small Chris Reeves small Sabenza 21 collection that's up. So check that out as well. They're right here on the Keith Kevin Ken channel. Hey, please hit subscribe button and thumb this up as well. Thumb it up to let me know I'm in the right direction, going in the right direction. Also comment. If I missed something, please add so that the community can read it. Also, I say hit it because I know I'm going to have a special, and I'll talk about that with the knife that got away, a special collection coming up tomorrow or the next day. Oh, man. Anyway, this is, I know, I just love how it feels. I tell you, big knife, smooth as freaking silk. It's so smooth. Once you learn how to open it, I know that sounds like a wussy kind of thing to say, but again, Chris Reeve includes instructions on how to open his knives. That is the Wilson Combat Chris Reeve collaboration. It's called the StarTac. Everything else about it is just like all the other Umnumzaans. 3.7-inch blade on all of them. The Tanto, of course, is the True North Knives exclusive. And, of course, the Plain Jane Umnumzaan, the boss. And that's my 3. The knife that got away, oh, I'm not going to tell you that. Anyway, I am pretty soon. This is my carry. All of this, plus the Umnumzaan, with that wonderful, wonderful box elder. The Plain Jane, oh no, this is the Umnumzaan. This is the Mnandi with box elder. Sorry, folks, it's early in the morning. Box elder Mnandi, the Plain Jane, Umnumzaan, the boss. I just wanted to show you, this is the complete collection of Umnumzaans for me. I don't think there's other variations. If they are, please give me a comment. This is the only variations I know of the Umnumzaan. If there are more, let me know. Of course, my keychain carry is the very unique and hard to get carbon fiber old school Cricket ATS 55 steel. Oh man, liner lock. I just love this knife. I love it. I love it so much I can't keep it in a safe. With this in my pocket, this will be in the sheath, the Chris Reeves sheath. This will be hanging. I love that. A heavy watch, man. This is a manly day. You hear that? This is a manly day. I just wanted to show you the difference of the new and the old. This is Precision, but it shows you that the Cricket also has, the newer ones have the frame lock, the Chris Reeve integral lock. And then this is old school, but still hard to find, an old school FRN. ATS 55, that old steel. But I want to show you that when it was grippy, old school, and they had that back and not the frame lock, they just kept it smooth on the other side. Didn't want to mess up your pockets. There you have it. That's the daily carry. Those 3 knives, and then I gave you some variations on those 3 knives. And when it's all arranged like in the beginning of that video, that's my Instagram picture. And that's what we deconstructed. But this ain't Instagram. And no, I wasn't going to let you get away with a day without talking about the Copa. I'm just not going to carry the Copa. You know, I take these pictures on Instagram of the carry, and the folks on Instagram don't hear me talk about why I'm featuring the Copa every day. I think they like the Copa because it's always a variation. But I thought I'd give them a little rest. And you guys a little rest about the carry because the UPS is in my area. Okay, it's early in the morning. I'm going to get this thing when I come home. The Copa, there are 16 knives in this wonderful gentleman's folder collection that Spyderco created. It's been discontinued for years. VG10, the Spyderco shape, everything is exactly the same except for the scales. All the scales are different scales. It could be a bone scale, it could be wood, it could be carbon fiber, it could be a lot of things. I've had 15 of the collection, the complete collection. for a year, year and a half. Could not find the turquoise. I finally did. It'll be delivered today. I have the complete collection, all 16, with all the variations. You're going to love it. Each knife, only 600 of each knife. So there's only 599 of this particular variation of the Copa out there in the world. So hey, subscribe so that you can catch my Copa collection that'll be coming in a day or two. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for enjoying the videos. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button and the thumbs up. If you haven't, do that now. Don't forget you can follow my feed on Instagram at Keith Kevin Ken, just like this channel. I post at minimum 4 knife-related pictures. Starts with my first cup of coffee, ends right before I crawl into bed. All knife related. Thank you very much, you guys. You have a perfect, perfect day. Keep those pockets really, really full. Goodbye.